Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. We're back on some Forza Horizon 4 once again, and I thought I'd go ahead and do a build on the Ford Focus RS. Now before I continue with this video, I want to let you guys know about something awesome that I'm doing with a website called chrono.gg. For this week only, from September 17th to September 24th, I've teamed up with them to let you guys know of some awesome deals on their website. This is a racing themed week, so there will be a bunch of racing games on sale on their website if you guys want to get them for cheaper than the full price, of course. Now this website works in partnership with the developers of the games, so all the keys for the games, they're legitimately gotten, no scams, nothing like that. They've gotten from the actual developers themselves, so you know that if you're buying a game from this site, you're not going to get scammed or anything like that. Now something that's kind of awesome about this week's sales is that a portion of the sales will go to a charity called Wings for Life. It is a spinal cord injury research charity, so that's kind of awesome. And if you guys want to buy a game, make sure you consider visiting the website. Link will be in the description to chrono.gg. Now let's get back to the video. Now let's get started and do some stuff to this car. I'm gonna turn it into a drift car, of course, but what I want to do is I want to check out the one of the most important things, and it's the drift suspension, which is this. Now does this mean, right, because if I buy any of these, right, it just automatic, they cost the same amount, right, because they're fully customizable. But does that mean that with this, because this lowers it a good bit, but this lowers it like even further than what it is already? So does this mean that I don't see an option for me to be able to change the steering angle, which I don't know if that's an option in this game that you can have like you can in Forza 7, and I will have a look and see if that's the case with the cars in this game. Maybe you just can't do it. I'm also going to go ahead and give this a lot of power, and I'm also going to go ahead and rear-wheel drive swap it, which is what I'm going to end up doing now. Also, the main reason why I chose this Ford Focus for our drift build is because you can turn it into this. You can turn it into the RS RX pretty much, and make it go really, really wide, which it looks really, really weird and menacing. So that's a good idea. Also, I noticed you can put a V8 in it, so why not have a V8 powered? Do I want to go ahead into a turbo or supercharge it even? Actually, I might supercharge because it'll make it a little bit more interesting. We'll change it to, you know what? We'll change it to a positive displacement one. I think it gives it a lot more torque. Yeah, it does. It gives it a lot more torque than the other one. So, you know what? I'm going to end up... There's not really a lot of stuff to change it, is there? Oh, we can change the wing. Oh, wow. Big changes to the wing here. Big changes. Little lip that you can add, and that's it. The second one is carbon fiber, I think. Brilliant. That's a lot of options there. Now, for our wheels, I think... I mean, oh, we can have drag tires. Oh, that's so sick. We can finally have drag tires in Forza Horizon. That's perfect. I don't know why that wasn't an option before to have. I mean, it's gonna be weird putting race tires on this thing, but I mean, we're gonna get this to be kind of powerful. Nah, I'm not gonna put race tires on it. I'm not gonna do that. 235s on the front, and I'm guessing 235s in the rear. We'll go with some 245s for the rear and some 245. Actually, you know what? Let's do 255s for the rear, 245s for the front, and I think I'll stick with that for the moment. For our wheel selection, it looks like it's pretty much the same. I don't know if they've added any more wheels to this game, but it looks like it's pretty much the exact same selection that we've had in the past for our previous wheels on Forza Horizon 3 and also in Forza 7 and all the other games. I think they're pretty much the same wheels. I think Forza 7 did have a few more wheels though than the other games, but I think overall, from Forza 7 to Forza Horizon 4, I think there is no change at all in the wheel selection that we have here. I think they're all pretty much the same. Now, I don't know what to choose because there's so many options for so many different wheels. Maybe some HREs. HREs always look really good. Doesn't matter what car you put the wheels on, they always look really, really good, in my opinion. Some Momos actually look really decent as well on this Focus. Yeah, I think we'll slap on some HREs. Some HREs would probably suit this quite well. Maybe something like these here. So let's put them on. Again, our tire width, we'll just keep the way it is. Our wheel size, we can change it to 20s. Should we put 20s on it? You know what? It actually does look pretty good with 20s on it. So let's put some 20-inch on it. And that's not too bad. Now, for the rest of the stuff, I am just pretty much going to buy race spec everything. Just because then we have it so we can fully customize whatever we need here. So we've already done brakes and all that sort of stuff. Now for this, I'm gonna go with around 700 horsepower. I don't really know if I want to go with more. 700 is way more than enough for this thing. Actually, you know what? Since this game, well actually, Forza Horizon 3 was the game that was pretty much notorious if you had a lot of horsepower. Let's just test it out in this game. Alright, let's just test it out. I probably won't run this setup on this car all the time, but let's just test it out with 1,000 horsepower on this thing. 1,000 horsepower rear wheel drive. It's on sports tires now, so it should be a lot less grippy than what I thought it was going to be. You know, initially, like I said, I was going to make it go to like about 700 horsepower, which is way more than enough for this car to be able to slide easily. But having this at this amount of power should be very, very interesting. I have 105. I'm spending all of my money. Literally all of my money. 105 grand. I have 2 grand left. I have 2 grand left. That is mad. Now for our tunes here, if I go into tuning, you will be able to see that we don't have a steering angle kit. This is a front caster kit. For the people telling me there is a... People are telling me that the caster angle is the same thing. It's not the same thing. Steering angle and caster angle is not the same thing. This is where it usually is. If you were to play Forza Motorsport 7, it is at the bottom of this, and it's basically where it shows where the thing is. But we all have our camera already set up. Like the game's already set up everything here. Our ride height is changed. Everything is pretty much changed. Our differential, I'm gonna go ahead and just pretty much lock our diff completely here. And we'll leave it like this. There's nothing else I really want to change on this car. But yeah, this is pretty much the setup that we're running with this Focus. I'm not really going to change anything. I'm going to leave it with whatever setup they decided to give me it. And that's pretty much it. So any sort of liveries, there's no liveries at all in this game. I just realized you can't even change color of your car in this game. So that's a little bit weird. So let's just drive it and see what it's like. This is really wide. One big problem that I have with Forza games is you cannot change. Let me go ahead and turn that off. And I'm also going to go ahead and pretty much just raise the volume a little bit because it is pretty much set really low. So let's bring that up to 6, change our radio volume all the way down, and everything else should be fine. Alright, cool. So I really do wish that there was an option in Forza games to be able to change your exhaust. You can't. Sounds good. Sounds pretty good. There is no option to change your exhausts in this game. Like, I don't understand why. I don't understand why. Why is that an option? That's a lot of backfire. That is a lot of backfire for this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and take this to a drift zone or a drift event here, which I'm not going to do on dirt. I'm probably just going to go ahead and choose this one here because I've done this one in the past as well, and it is on the actual road. So let's go ahead and... Okay, so at least we have, even in 5th gear, we have a lot of power to spin the rear wheels, so that's good. What I'm going to end up doing, by the way, is I'm going to go ahead and pretty much just go... Oh god. I'm going to try to go over there, but I will also try to turn it into daytime as well, so you guys can see what's going on a little bit better. So I will be right back once I get there. Alright, we've made it here. Oh god, just barely. And I'm going to go into daytime. Also, what I've noticed...
Hook it in, flick the back end out, ride the handbrake all the way through the flags.
Okay, cool. Well, what I've noticed really quick is that my steering angle looks like it's just not stock whatsoever on this thing. It looks mental. So maybe it does actually change your steering angle. You just can't fully change it yourself. Maybe that's the thing. So look at this. Look at the amount of angle my front wheels can get if I turn them into one direction. That is pretty significant. That is a pretty big amount of angle to be able to get with this car. So it actually does look like the drift suspension does change the amount of steering angle that you can get with cars. That is pretty decent. I'm gonna go ahead after I mess around with this car a little bit and go ahead and put the race suspension on it and then the stock one, and I want to see what the difference is between all of them and how much of a difference it is between the steering angles of each one. So what is this like to drive? I mean, it's got all the power in the world. I feel like if I twin turbo, it'll have even more power. But I mean, or single turbo even. I don't think you can twin turbo. I think it's just single. I like the supercharger though. The supercharger is just constant leading power. It's just constant linear power. Where I think as the turbo will get a little bit of lag. I am at the moment at the top of my friends and club in this event, but I mean, I'm down to beat it again, see if I can do it in in the Focus. It's so easy to control drifting in this game. Maybe it is because of the angle kit. Maybe. Ooh, I lost that. I lost that. Careful here, careful. That's... I don't know what to say. It's a very, very good car. It's just not a personal best, is it? Yeah, it's just not a personal best. My personal best is like 110,000. It's a very good car to drive. It's very, very good. Makes you wonder why they didn't make this thing a rear-wheel drive to begin with. I wonder if maybe in the full game you will be able to get the option to adjust your steering angle. Maybe you just don't have it in the demo. I don't really know, to be honest, but I do wonder why they left that option out, where they added it in Forza Motorsport. You know what I mean? Anyway, car drives great. It drives well. It's very, very easy to control. Even in 6th gear, Jesus, I just wanted to see what it'd be like in 6th gear. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how easy it is to just control these cars. But yeah, the main reason why I wanted to do this is because this wasn't really an option, I don't think, back on Forza Horizon or anything, to be able to add this body kit onto the Focus. So it's kind of cool to just check it out and see what it's like. The only one extra option that apparently this car doesn't have, that the Dodge Charger has, is you can change the well, for the Charger anyway, you can change the rear not tire width, but like the track width. So like you can bring the rear wheels out a little bit more towards the edges of your fenders, whereas you can't with a lot of these cars, which I don't really understand why only some of the cars have the option to do that and this one doesn't. But it gives you somewhat of an idea of how cars are going to be able to be customized in the full game, having this Focus RS pretty much wide-bodied. Now again, could they have done a lot better with customization? I think so. I think they can definitely keep adding more and more bits and pieces for a lot of these cars, and I mean the only way to do that is pretty much just to add stuff in. There's no other way. I feel like the one main thing they should really add in is customization for the exhaust tips, for the muffler tips. I definitely think that should be an option to have. I just don't understand why it's not an option, or it has never been an option in Forza games to be able to change your exhaust tips. Same with Gran Turismo, for example. The only way you can change them, or the only way they actually change, is if you have a different rear bumper that you decide to put on your car, and that's pretty much it. And that only sometimes changes them. But yeah, now that we're finished with pretty much this build, even though it looks very, very good, let's just take it over to my hub once again, and I'm gonna go ahead and see what the difference is between the racing the racing suspension parts, the stock ones, and also the drift ones, to see how much steering angle can we get. Is it how noticeable is it? Like, is it really noticeable? Can we actually tell the difference, or is it just a bogus thing where it just sort of keeps the same racing suspension and it just pretty much adds a tune on it? You get what I mean? So let's just have a look and see if there is a difference in the steering angle. This thing is absolutely useless off-road, by the way. That's why I'm crashing into things. It's literally like it's on ice because it's rear-wheel drive. Now, I was trying to figure out a way to be able to measure the steering angle for these cars. So I wanted to see if there's a difference, obviously, between the racing, the normal standard springs, and obviously the drift springs that we have on now. So what I thought I would do is, if I go ahead and I look dead center at the wheel. So if I go and I pretty much make the left side of the alloy just disappear. If I get really close to the car, you can see it a little bit there. If I make it disappear, where does the inside of the wheel actually line up? And as you can see, it lines up with the top of the basically where the wheel, like, fender basically connects to the front bumper. So it kind of lines up dead on in that line. So this is pretty much a straight line that goes there, and it lines up with that edge there where those two connect. So now let's just go ahead. Let's see if I go and I change to the other wheels, if it'll, or not the other wheels, sorry, if I change to the other bits of suspension, will it still look the same or not? So yeah. Now with the race springs, let's see. Oh, I can already see a difference. There's no point. All I have to do is just do that, and you can already see a difference. So yeah, it does change your steering angle quite a lot. Like there's a much much bigger difference than before. So yeah, let me just turn it to one direction, obviously, this direction, and if I go in and I have a look at it, you can see this is full lock. This is full lock. There is just a completely different look to this car, just the way it looks now compared to the way it was before with the other kit. Yeah, it's completely different. I'm just gonna stop there. There's no reason for me to even show you guys anything else. But yeah, it does change your steering angle quite a lot. I just don't have the fully customizable bit that you do have in Forza 7. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. This was the build of the Ford Focus RS as a drift build. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more videos of Forza Horizon 4, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, obviously, to keep up to date with all of the Forza Horizon 4 content that will be coming out very, very soon. Obviously, the full game is out very soon, and I will end up playing that, and I will upload a ton of videos on it. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.